Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to set up multiple Samsites with one switch. So let's get started. First off, these items are required to use for this tutorial. So let's begin with step 1 is creating the main line for the Samsites. We have already the main power source, going to the smart switch and then going to the electrical branch. Now we're going to add a broadcaster. It will transmit a signal when there's power going to the broadcaster. So we're doing the branch out. That's going to the power in of the broadcaster, and we give it a frequency of 2020 as example, but it can be something different. It doesn't matter so long you know the numbers for the Samsites power. So we connect it to the broadcaster and make sure that the electrical branch has power output of 2. The next one is adding another branch, and then the power out of the first branch is going to the power in of the second branch, and then the branch out will go into the Samsite, to the first Samsite that we have, to the power in. Make sure that the second branch that is going to the first Samsite has at least 26 for this tutorial. So now when we turn on the power, the broadcaster will also notice that it's on by the noise sound that you hear, and the Samsite will have power too. But this is just like if you have a Samsite on your base and the connection that you can make is within the range. But if it's not within the range, there are alternative options too, like using solar panels or wind turbines to connect the Samsites too. So to make this job working without creating a lot of cables going from A to B, we're using receivers. So in this scenario, we place a receiver with the same code, frequency 2020, that's the power for the Samsite. Then the output for the solar panels is going to the receiver, power in, and the power out goes to the second Samsite that we have here. And you see it's already on because the signal for the receiver is working because of the broadcaster is activated. So when we turn this off, you will notice that the second Samsite will be turned off too. And that's because the broadcaster is not sending 2020 code anymore, so the receiver doesn't receive the 2020 code. So when we turn it on, it will enable the Samsite again. But this is option A. There is also an option B with the wind turbine. It doesn't matter if you can have enough power to turn on the Samsite. It will be enough by only a receiver and the power that you have to connect them. So this is going to the power in, from combined power out to power in, and the power out will go into the power in of the Samsite. It doesn't work because we didn't have set up the frequency code, so when we set it to 2020 it will turn on. This is an example how you can set up multiple Samsites. You can have 4, 5, 6, how many you want if you do this step, like putting a receiver between them so that it's only active when the broadcaster is sending the 2020 code in this example. Now we have also 3 broadcasters, and that's for notifying when the Samsite is fired, only for this example. So we place here the broadcaster, and we will say has target to the power in, and we give this a 2030 as example, just another code that will only notify that one of them has fired to a minicopter or a projectile And we will place for the other two Samsites that too. Our star cut is going to be power in with the same frequency code 2030, and we will do that for the last one too in this example. Our star cut is going to be power in of the broadcaster, give it the same code, but for at the moment it does nothing. So we will place also the smart alarm and the receiver on our main line section. So we place here the smart alarm and the receiver. We use another input. We can make another input if we want, but for this scenario we have already one. So this one will go to the receiver power in, and the power out will be going to this smart alarm power in. And we give the receiver the code 2030, so when the Samsite will fire, it will give you a notification that one of them has fired the Samsite. So this is how we have set up it, multiple Samsites with notification when the Samsite is fired, but as example we want to add another Samsite to the main line. That's simple by adding another Samsite. So it's required one Samsite, a broadcaster and an electrical branch. This is an example, so we will place them here. Broadcaster within the range of 25 meters of cable length. The power in, not yet, sorry. We will place on the main line of the Samsite, not the main line itself, but the main line for the Samsites. We will place another one here, the third electrical branch. So the second power out of the branch will go into the third one, and then the branch out will go into the last Samsite of the power in. Our star cut will go into the broadcast, and we give that the 2030 again. So now you will have a question like, yeah, why does this Samsite is not necessary a receiver, because this Samsite is connected to the main line. So if the main line shuts off, it will shut off the Samsite too. So we will connect it again. To make sure that the Samsite will work too, we have to set up the electrical branch too to 26. It is required 25 only, but if we put it on 25, the broadcaster won't work because there is not enough power to send the signal to the broadcaster. So that means that we have 26 needed at least. So, and now you see that the fourth Samsite is working too, and even set up with the broadcaster to notify when the Samsite is fired to this receiver, and the alarm will go off because the receiver notifies the 2030 code. The power goes to the smart alarm, and you will notify on your mobile app, the RUS Plus, that one of the Samsites has fired within the range, of course. So this was it about the tutorial